Next item to set the agenda. Does anybody have anything to add to the agenda? Or
There's a liquor license that we need to add.
put that under the road rehab thing?
Yep. And that's the one we received in our packet.
Yeah.
Came in minutes after you asked me if I had anything.
Should we put that hammer under there too?
What's that?
Should we put that hammer on there too, or just
I think we can talk about that under the
with the
road
rehab?
discussion. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, anybody else have anything on the agenda? Okay, I need a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Here, a
I'll
second.
second it.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
View of open public comments. There's a laminated thing on the shelf up there. If anybody's interested how we conduct the meetings, they can review that. Is there any select board announcements? Any public announcements? Commissions, committees, trustees, emergency service reports, or other board announcements? Okay, next item is approve warrants. Is there any on these that you guys can't vote on or shouldn't vote on?
I don't think I can in theory vote on 22-192 and 22-193, but I have a couple of questions on those.
For me, it's just the payroll. I'm just the payroll, it's not the warrants, I'm fine.
Okay, so you're good on all the warrants?
Well, no, I have a couple of questions on those. I can't vote on them, but I have some questions on them.
We can still question
Yeah,
them,
yeah,
so
yeah.
which ones?
I can vote
We'll do
on
the ones that you can vote on first.
191 and 190 and 191.
91 and 94?
190 and 190.
90 and 91.
90 and 91, okay. Okay, let's vote on, we have a motion to vote on 22-190 and 22-191 first.
I'll make the motion to approve as written.
Here's a second.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, now need a motion on 192 and 193. Your motion on that?
I'll make a motion to approve those as written.
There's a second.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Tyler?
Yes, on page 2, REM Construction was hired for grading on Elm Street and culvert work. I just want to make sure there was a purpose for that versus the town doing that work.
They have a smaller machine
Okay.
that would fit better on that street.
Okay.
So keep up and down.
Okay. That was the question on that one. And it was already signed. That was my other question. Never messaged out. Again, I can't actually vote on it, but it should have at least been warned.
You guys came in and signed it a couple weeks ago, but you still have to approve it at a meeting.
Yeah, but I don't know if we ever got the message of full, maybe we did get a message, I don't know.
I hope so.
I don't remember getting
Everybody
it.
else came in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you did.
Okay, maybe
Yeah.
I could have gotten the message, I just didn't pick up on it, just
Yeah,
wanna make sure.
I'm pretty sure you did.
Yeah, I got a message when it's ready.
Yeah.
Anybody else have anything?
And then it's for 193, first page, CBTV. We have a first quarter web streaming payment of $895.50. I looked at the budget from 2025 fiscal year and 2026, and those have both been approved to $0. So where's that money actually coming from?
We're just gonna pay it. He was doing it for free, he just
Okay.
didn't tell us.
Okay.
So we're paying for the stuff that he's hosted so
Okay.
far.
That's fine, I just wanna make
Yeah,
sure.
it's not gonna put us over on any budgets, but
Okay.
we do need to pay for his services.
Yeah, that's fine, I just,
Yeah.
so next time, I guess, next
So
year, we have to make sure we
we're
put some
gonna
money in there.
Make sure we
Okay.
budget for it going forward.
And
This isn't, it wouldn't be for recording though, it would be for posting it, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, not recording.
Yeah.
yeah, but the account is coming out of, like I said,
Yeah.
I looked at both the budgets and then I think it was explained that the fire truck replacement looked quite expensive, that just comes out of its own special account, again, it just wasn't listed.
Yeah, it's a reserve account that
I
we
just wanna make sure that, like I said, for all the citizens, I just recommend that all of us selectmen have every account so we know where the money's actually coming from. Cause I looked at, I made a list for all of us that every citizen sees in the town book, I just put all the account numbers next to it, and that one wasn't showing up, so. I wanna make sure it actually,
No, I also questioned that when I asked him before we started the meeting, and it was, that come out of the reserve fund. It's a large amount of money, I wanna know where it came from.
oh, and then page 3, kind of midway down the page,
Which one are you on, 93? 92?
93, yeah, 93, it's VLCT passive, Greg Donahue, Icetown off, unanticipated expense, what is that?
Just during the winter,
Okay.
when Greg was driving to go to our back
Oh,
parking
okay.
lot,
Yep.
snow and ice came on,
Okay.
and it destroyed the roof of
Yep,
his
that's,
truck.
okay, that's fine,
Okay.
I just, well, I'm gonna be
Yeah.
honest with people, with what people call ice now, I wasn't sure if the town had done something,
No.
or if people were protesting ice, that's where I thought that money was going.
Well, he was definitely protesting the ice.
Because it's in all capitals.
So that's our,
Okay.
$1,000 is our deductible.
Okay, that's fine, yeah. No, I remember talking about that.
Yeah.
You made the unfortunate wrong move.
Yeah,
The timing on that was crazy.
Yeah, no, I know,
People
we
Going in and out of
discussed
there
it.
all day.
Yeah, I just, like I said, everything I read in the news about ice, I didn't think it was actually physical ice, I thought it was something to do
That
with.
poor guy was so shaken up, he couldn't tell me his phone number or where he lived
Yeah,
or
no.
anything.
And the policy now is if there's snow or ice on the roof, cones are going out to the back parking lot,
Yeah,
cannot be used.
we'll have signage up and we'll have all that stuff.
Just park your car there, so you can't get through.
Yeah. Yeah.
The May chief put her through.
No.
No.
That's all I had on it.
Everybody else all set? Yeah. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Okay,
Abstain.
now, on the payroll warrants,
I have to abstain from 517.
I have to abstain from 531.
we're on 531 also,
I'm on 517.
517, okay, let's, we'll do 517 first. We have a motion on 517 payroll warrant,
I'll make a motion as written.
Second.
motion made and seconded, any discussion on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next one's 531, a motion on that,
Motion to approve is written.
your second,
I'll second.
motion made and seconded, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed?
I abstain.
Okay, next item is approve the select board meeting minutes of 5:11. So motion on that,
Make motion to accept.
Second.
motion made and seconded, any discussion on the minutes?
I did did we get did they get the newer version?
Yeah, so the one that you'll sign will be the one that
Okay.
you,
There was, I made some grammatical changes, it's like, for example, the first page, it just says Youth Sports Association. The second page says Williamstown Youth Sports Association, to make sure they all say Williamstown Youth Sports. And then, I think the only other big thing was, after executive session, the vote was put down on the minutes, correct?
Yep.
Okay, that was not on the original minutes, but the vote was there. Okay, thanks.
So this is amended version.
yeah, you'll get this on the amended version.
I don't think, did I fix anything else? I think there was just some grammatical stuff, other
That was
than,
it, and you were questioning whether or not what happened over at the dog, over at.
Oh, yeah,
Cedar
Cedar
Point.
Field, yeah. which, that was a dog defecating on the field. I thought we discussed other issues,
Okay.
so.
Okay, all in favor of minutes?
Well, so we should, that we vote as amended.
Are the, cause this one has the,
Okay, maybe you got
Yeah,
it.
so you guys should.
Okay, maybe I just
have
didn't,
ones.
maybe I didn't get that one, because I brought it in.
does your last page have the thing on
Right.
Oh, no, I guess I do have the note,
Okay.
sorry,
Yeah.
my bad. But it's still missing, this one's still missing Williamstown on the first page.
Yeah, it says the Youth Sports Association.
That's why I thought I saw
Williamstown
the
Youth.
other
Three lines up from the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
There's a couple of them. No, that one's there, and then that one's there.
Second line down, April 20th, 2026, middle sentence, it says Youth Sports Association.
Oh, two different spots. There's
Okay.
two different spots there, second line down and third line down.
It's on that one.
Okay.
Okay,
So what's that?
That's fine, yeah.
so do we still need to say as amended?
I would just say
Right.
as amended.
As amended.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Next item is manager's report, Ryan?
Okay. Where is it? All right, we had an unannounced audit from MSHA, which is the Mine Safety and Health Administration, which is the branch of the Federal Department of Labor. And we received 5 citations for not having a safety berm at the gravel pit entrance, no available training plan upon request, no available safety program for the mobile equipment, and not updating contact info when town leadership changed, and not having a record of the screening equipment at the pit having gone through an annual continuity and resistance test. The inspector was understanding of our current situation of having myself and Elwin in new leadership roles, and he has given us until 6:15 to correct these violations so that we aren't fined. I've already completed 3 of the 5, and fixing the other 2 violations will be achievable in the time that's left. It's mostly paperwork stuff, and I had an electrician go out Friday to test the screener. So once I get his report, I can give that to the auditor. So we won't end up with any fines. I'll have it all fixed. It was just paperwork stuff that we couldn't find. And then as we were dealing with stuff in the pit, the new road foreman Elwin would like to know the board's thoughts on potentially shutting down the pit at some point and purchasing winter sand instead. He doesn't like the quality of the material that comes out of the pit after it's screened. But I don't know anything about that stuff, so.
Where is the pit?
It's
Right-
up
right
where Pikes is.
Mike Pikes is okay.
Yeah.
Same entrance, first,
Well,
first
take a
road
right.
up on the right, is when you head up
I
the
can
hill.
tell you that down Brookfield's paying about $80,000 a year for 3,400 yards of sand. So
all right, so we can't do that this
I
year.
think we should keep the pit.
Yeah, can't do that this year.
All the other towns around are buying stuff because they can't find it anywhere. It's very scarce.
Gotcha.
So I think we should
I should
do
maybe
it as
try-
long as we can.
Yeah,
Try a
that makes
couple of
sense.
screens.
Well, yeah, I was gonna ask, is it an equipment issue? Is there?
he doesn't like the quality of the material after it's screened. He
So
said
it's
we're-
not that there's.
He said we're putting bad material on the roads and just building up. But that was his opinion. He wanted to know anyone else's thoughts, and I don't really, I don't know how to tell good from bad.
You have to be
so.
careful where they're digging in the pit. There are some areas that, it's real silty stuff, you don't want that, but there are some good veins too.
Yeah,
Just gotta not use well, Ed Farnham was running it, he had a pile, he put all the junk in and didn't fill in the holes later with it, not just run everything through the screen like they've been doing last
Gotcha.
week. It's easier to
so it might be a
do it
little,
that way.
you're saying it's a little operator error?
Yeah. I know why he wants to get rid of it, because that, the only reason MSHA's down there is because of the screen.
Yeah, that's
That's
it.
the only thing that,
We're considered a mine, we're not, you know. we're
because
not
we
operating.
have a screen anytime we go anywhere and do stuff for someone else, we're supposed to report it to them, so they come check if they want to, but
Yeah. We need to set a date for Dave Wilder's public hearing. I did suggest a couple dates here, but I heard back from his lawyer that he would prefer it be in July and not in June, so he can have time to line things up. So I don't know if that's something we want to do at our next regular meeting, the second Monday in July. Or if anybody had any thoughts. Or we can always schedule it at some other time.
what's the date for the July meeting?
13th.
15th, yeah.
13th, yeah. I mean, that's after the 4th, so everybody should be over that.
Yeah.
Want to do it at the regular meeting?
I would suggest that.
Yeah, I don't see why we have to have an extra one.
I'm gone that week.
No?
Not the way.
We could have a special one, I mean, if you want.
The only
It's-
day in
it's-
July I'm available is the sixth.
It's up
I'm
to
gone
you
every
guys.
other one. I'm available the sixth and the 13th.
Are you talking about Mondays?
Yeah.
Okay.
But if we wanna do them, I am available July 6th, and then, or July 13th, July 20th, and 27th, I'm out of state.
I could do the 6th.
6.
It's of July.
It's the first Monday of
My
July.
birthday, the first Monday.
Oh, it's your birthday, okay.
I'll be fine.
I did not know it was your birthday either.
I don't,
Up to
it's,
you
that's
guys,
fine.
I don't care. If you guys wanna do it without me, go for it.
If it happens my birthday, I'll have it before Monday, I think. Yeah. Anyway, I'm fine with whatever, either way, whatever you do.
I'm good with either day, so.
You really wanna be here?
I mean,
It's up to you.
I
You say yes, and,
kinda like to be.
okay. Do it on the 6th, that work for you guys?
But well, do you wanna do it, do we do it on a different day of the week?
Yeah,
I mean, I can do other days than Mondays, I just can't, I'm gone from the 12th through the 16th
so what's,
in July. So I can do it,
do like a following Monday or whatever?
Tyler's
Oh,
gone the
you're
following
right.
Mondays, but not that it necessarily has to be a Monday for
It
me.
don't have to be Monday for me, you know what I mean? I
As
don't
long
know.
as it's 7 o'clock or after.
Okay.
I don't care, cause no matter what, those are the hours that I don't have.
So when are you gonna get back?
I'll be back the 16th,
What day is that?
it's a Thursday.
Thursday?
It works for me, there's literally nothing on my calendar, so.
Does that work for you?
Yeah.
Work for you?
Oh, yeah.
Work for you?
Text me.
July 16th.
16th,
Thursday,
Thursday.
July 16th? Now, she'll be there, will she need to be there as well?
We'll have to talk about that.
Check her schedule too.
Yeah.
Does that work for you? Okay, we got,
Okay, so
And is it here at 7?
It would be here at 7, yeah.
at 7 o'clock.
might wanna check William, make sure he ain't got something going on that night in this part of the room, but.
Okay, we were able to get the water bills out in time, but we had to use an average reading rather than the actual reading due to not having the required software on my workstation and not being able to find a workaround in time. I have reached out to EJ Prescott and set up a meeting with their Camstrup meter salesperson to talk about a better path forward for us in the meter reading department. They are going to help us with IT support so we can avoid paying Census the $4,000 they want just for their help. And then we can plan to upgrade the meters as we have to replace them with the latest technology meters that will make reading them faster and easier. The ones they make now come standard with like basically a little Bluetooth radio unit, and Alan, when he's doing his readings, doesn't have to go up to each property. He can read it from the end of the driveways as we replace them. We wouldn't do a mass replacement because that would be super expensive, but,
And this will work with the current meters?
yes, this will work with the current meters. So the software we used to use to do readings is being phased out, so we would have to change either way. Rather than buy a very expensive scanner like the one we have now, cost the town $16,000, we would just get a Samsung tablet for a couple $100, put a little widget thing on it, and we'd be good to go. So I'll have a meeting with them and see what our options are and update you guys.
Okay, on that note, the meter that you're talking, is that one that was taken before? Is that the same thing you're talking about?
The workstation that we needed with the software on it, that was taken as
Okay.
police evidence.
And has that been returned
That
yet?
has not been returned. I can't
Second.
get anyone to talk to me.
Okay, second question on that, this new upgrade or these new meters installed, is that just, will that be coming out of our budget somewhere, or that's not gonna affect the homeowners
No,
separately? They're
no.
not gonna get a bill
No,
for
I'm
any
not-
of this stuff,
No,
right?
I'm not
Okay.
talking about a mass meter replacement, I'm just saying, as meters fail or as we get new people coming in, we would just buy these newer ones rather than the ones we've been sticking with. So we slowly replaced them over time.
Okay, but no existing,
No.
cost of the
No, it's not gonna
homeowners?
be, no, it's not
Okay.
gonna be cheaper cost or anything.
So do you need that stuff that they got?
I don't need it
Don't
with
need
the
it
water
now.
bill's over. So
Okay.
these guys will hook me up with a way to read before we have to read again in October. Yeah,
Okay.
so. I'm still receiving positive results from my phone app survey. The company is willing to lower the initial year's price to $3,600 from $3,900. Unless anyone has any objectives, I can move forward and get that phone app project going. And use the money from this year's budget before it turns over to our new fiscal year. There's a 3-acre stormwater permitting project that has been in the works over the past couple of years concerning the business center and the commercial center. And we need to have the design stage wrapped up by August at the latest, so this requires the town to pay a $16,520 impact fee for the business center and a $57,525 impact fee for the commercial center just to get those permits. The town has applied for a grant it's 2 grants technically to help cover the design and the impact fee costs. They won't fully cover the combined impact fees, however, so the town will be on the hook for roughly $23,000 after reimbursement. I worked with the treasurer's office today. We will have enough surplus to cover that $23,000 this year to just go ahead and pay those, and then it won't impact the new financial year's budgets. So we'll just end up using the surplus from this year's.
And this is just for design and permitting?
Yeah, so in the business center, there's a design that's been made to put in basically like these big, almost like dry wells.
Yeah, I remember
and some
that.
rain gardens and stuff like that after the storm water.
Yeah.
It doesn't capture everything the state wants us to capture, so then we have to pay a $16,000 impact fee because we didn't quite make the finish line. And then in the commercial center, you can't really build anything where all the swamp is and all that stuff, so we'll pay a much bigger fine.
Okay,
Yeah, but this is a one-time fine though, it's not like an every year thing.
well, one
Okay.
time for now.
Yeah.
One time until they change their mind, but
Until they
just
change
so
the
there's
rules.
enough people in here that are understanding that where this money is the state of Vermont is forcing this situation.
State of Vermont approved Buffalo's projects
Exactly,
to begin
exactly.
with, then they decide they wanna do something different. So,
Mm-hmm,
I don't know.
All has to do with Act 250 stuff, ties into the flood insurance program, and everybody wants their cut.
oh yeah.
And we're on the hook for it. And
I wonder what they do to you if you just told them you weren't gonna pay it.
I don't know.
Take
I
your
haven't-
swamp.
I don't know.
What are you gonna do?
We wouldn't get the permits, so then we couldn't.
I know there's a lot of towns that like to
stuff.
tell them that.
Yeah.
I've heard it from several different towns that are arms about it. Everybody had a band together and say, not we just say don't do it.
Yeah.
Really? She might think differently, I don't know. Give her something to do, get us out of that one.
Our delinquent tax total is $215,181, and we recovered $13,467 this past month. And our delinquent utility total is $31,524, not accounting for the bills that just went out, since they have 30 days to pay those. We have recovered $1,464 this past month.
Anyone else have any questions or comments for Ryan?
I was gonna say, make a motion to have the phone app created.
Okay.
One second that,
Yeah, I'll second it. I guess everybody likes it.
seems to be.
Discussion. Just quick question, how many like responses have you, have they filled out?
The physical responses, I've got almost 30 now,
Yeah.
because I have them at the front desk as they come into the town clerks.
Yeah.
And then I got like 80 something on the Facebook post I made.
Yeah, and,
And I edited those to make it clear that it's free to download and use, but it costs the town.
Town,
something.
okay.
Yes.
And it was after that update, people were still,
Yep, I didn't hear any negative responses from any of that stuff, so.
Yeah, sounds like everybody likes it, so.
You know what the responses are? He didn't say what that was. He didn't say what the responses were.
So they were
Good or
positive.
bad.
Oh, he said
Positive.
they were
It said
positive.
they're positive
All
and
positive?
Yeah,
open one more avenue for people to
We'll
get
have the
information.
little app icon can be Scott's face, smiling face. Get all your info. It's good to go.
yep.
It's a different number than I get. Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, Ryan. Okay, up next is a hearing on a nuisance dog on 140 Casino Road.
Yeah,
See him?
so, and do you guys have the printout, the statements, et cetera?
I didn't print out all the
This was
pictures,
it?
but
Okay,
the initial email that summarizes everything.
yeah, so I don't know if you've had a chance to read it, but, I was notified, by Patricia Pierce, who lives at the end of Casino Road on, the 29th, that, her and her neighbor, at the end of Casino Road, lost a total of 12, birds, 8 hens and 4 guinea hens. And Dale Vanderbloom, who lives on the end of that road, has a security camera up. And so there was video footage, as well as, Erin, who also lives at the end of the road, has it on her security as well. Brown and white Akita type dog, I think it was there from like between 3 a.m. to 6:30-ish a.m., just wiping out the bird population, and I recognized the dog because I had written a ticket for it running loose 4 days after the last select board meeting that we had regarding dogs running loose from the 140 Casino Road property. I went on the Facebook page. There is I think it's from 2022, a photo of the dog advertised for adoption. It does say on there aggressive with other dogs, cats, chickens. It actually says would like fresh chicken for its meals or something catchy like that. So it's on the Facebook page there as well. I contacted the sheriff, Orange County Sheriff's Department. And that what you have from me is what I sent to them with a bunch of photos of the massacre, as well as the security footage that shows the dog entering the chicken coop. And I sent him with the bill. I met with Patricia and Dale and got the bill that they would want paid. Obviously, that's not something I can enforce. I sent it with the sheriff. He notified her and told her that her dog did that. And she claimed she didn't know that, I don't know whether she didn't know he was out or she didn't know that he did it. But neither Patricia or Dale have heard from her. So the sheriff said they would have to sue civilly to get back that, the money for those animals. So as a neighborhood, I think they're getting more tired of this, and now this is the second time that specific dog has been out. She's up to, so in August of last year, after the last hearing, it was a $500 ticket. It's another $500 ticket, which I did send. And I think we have to figure out something for that, I think the meeting has to be twofold. We have to figure out something to do about that specific dog, because it's clear that she can't contain it. And when it gets out, it causes a lot of damage. The first time it got out, it went the other direction, so it turned left and ended up on Hebert Road. And somebody with 2 small children found it. They sent me a picture of their kids like hugging it, which could have ended horribly. And this time when it got out, it went to that direction and went in the barn in the coops. It's not like they were free roaming. So, and then I also think something needs to be addressed as far as the continuous dogs running loose. Not just that specific dog, but whether we come up with a plan where her dogs need to be on leash, or, I mean, I don't know. But specifically this dog is the priority, because if it gets out again, I can tell you right where it's going, because it had a field day. You know, it didn't eat them. It just mangled them all, you know. So, and clearly money is not a deterrent. I mean,
Has she been paying the fines?
that, I don't know, because it goes to the state, I don't know. I assume so, or at least she's not fighting the ticket, because I believe I'd be notified of that, because I would have to go to court.
The fines go to the state?
Well, they're sent to, White River is where
Oh,
it gets sent to.
okay.
So I don't know how it's divvied up, or what, you know, how that goes, I don't know. But I can't go higher than 500, with the municipal
Right,
tickets.
I read the ordinance. It was a few weeks back, I happened to run across George Contois, and he said that they were going up there to round up some dogs, but the state was gonna allow her to keep 40 of them.
She's allowed to keep, so the state allowed 49 dogs, 12 cats, 11 chickens. So
She's got chickens here, the dog ain't eating those.
she has an electric fence around hers. And I do think some, in the times that she's had the chickens, probably some have been caught, and then,
I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
that hers have been caught?
Yeah.
Okay,
And killed by
dogs.
some of her dogs. Yeah.
Okay, and then she just replenishes them, I guess, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but, you know, this dog's on video. There's no, you know, denying who it is. You can see it clear as day in the video, and you can see it walking into the coop. So I think, I mean, I can let the neighbors talk as far as what their comfort level is with that dog loose, that specific dog. You know, I don't know if
Yeah, I mean, I have it on my camera hours before I think it was on yours. It like stalked my property for 45 minutes in the front yard back and forth. There is a chance it injured one of my pigs, but I do not have a camera in the back, cause it was on my property a long time. But I don't have a camera back there. This particular dog, she has told me, this was probably 2 years ago, she told me that if I ever saw that dog, that it's very dangerous. And so the fact that it's fine for her to just have it, that she can't contain it, it's out for hours, she doesn't even go looking for it, is super concerning, because she has admitted to me to be worried as a person. Not, you know, forget my animals, that as a person I should be worried about this dog.
I mean, she wouldn't have had to drive very far to find it. It was right at the end of the
I'm less than,
road.
I'm not very far though.
And, I mean, on Dale's camera, it's milling around in that yard for
Yeah,
hours.
he's right off the road.
Yeah.
So if she had driven down to the end of the road, she would have seen it. I mean, caught it.
Yeah, I didn't see, on the cameras, I didn't see like, I didn't catch like anything going by, but I think that's the biggest worry is that, I mean, even forget all the other issues there. Like, this dog, she has admitted is dangerous. She cannot contain it. And doesn't care to.
Just the same dog that we had an issue with before.
That's a different dog.
Okay.
So that dog
So we
also,
got 49 of them. like,
49,
That
that we know of, that were seen that day.
so have any more been licensed?
No.
Okay, so there's 44 licensed. When the state went there with the sheriff, which was I think 2 weeks ago, she was not willing to give any to the state. Like to have them put any at any other shelters, but there were 5 additional dogs that were not registered that they told her needed to be registered. I don't know how long they gave her. And so I know there's, well, at least that's what she showed them, 49 dogs minimum. But, so yeah, so Idle, the white husky is the one before that we met on who got out and went after the guinea hens, but I don't think he got any
No, and it
time.
went after my friend's dog
Right.
on my property.
That dog I've not
I've
seen
never
loose
even
again.
seen it before.
Yeah.
What
I don't know that dog.
I have picked up since that meeting, is the Akita twice, the beagle, there was a beagle loose that went up to the Humane Society that then ended up being hers. She's still missing a dog that was never found. That's some sort of small beagle mix. So I mean, they're still running them, you know, all over the place. So when the state went, she wasn't willing to give any up to them. But I don't know if you wanna say anything
Well,
about.
I mean, it's a big nuisance, you know, to me, there's a health concern. I can't imagine what she's living in, let alone the dogs are there too, but for me, I am worried on my own property, that dog especially is gonna come onto my property, either bite me, I have a little dog. He stays right on my lawn. I usually have him in the back fenced in area, but you know, I have guineas, I have chickens, and I shouldn't have to live in fear because she can't control her animals. There's too many animals. And, I mean, I don't know, I don't have anything, let's just say I don't have anything against her. This isn't about her, this is about the dog. I don't want it near me, I don't want it loose. I honestly, and I'm an animal lover, I honestly feel like that dog should probably be euthanized, because of such a danger that she's admitted. And I don't know what we can do about any of this, but.
Chris,
I'm a dog owner, of course, and we've had a couple chickens killed in our neighborhood up on the hill by other dogs in the neighborhood. What we, and there are certain breeds, it doesn't matter whose they are because we don't need to bring other people that matter into this. The Akita, what matters here is the state went and inspected a home. We all know which home it is. We all have a major issue with it, but the state has laws. The Orange County sheriffs we hire have already told these people that it's a civil matter. I don't know what the board's authority is, and I hate to say this because I know what I would do if my animals were killed by another animal. But the simple fact is that everybody's dog, it seems like lately, has been getting off leash. We have one in town that has been, and I love the woman, she's a very good friend of mine, but her dog gets off, Stella gets off, it seems like almost a daily basis. If these people have paid, if this woman has paid her $500 fine, which is what was written, maxed out, and paid it twice, if the Akita has no human interaction where it has hurt another human being, then euthanization is not the word, because there's a lot of dangerous breeds in this town, pit bulls, Akitas, even my Jack Russell, he's a little son of a gun, he's bit my mother, but we have a lot of animals in this town. Euthanization is such a strong word, it killed her chickens, that is a civil matter. It did not bite a human being, it did not bite the kids. It's actually been stated that the kids had their arms around this thing. Unless the Akita has had human interaction, what's bit a human, I don't know if the select board even has any,
They do.
if I think if it has bitten a human. I mean, I don't think any of us, I have a Weimaraner, and I would guess that if my Weimaraner gets out, which she's very well acted, but if she got out and my neighbor's guinea hens were out, she might attack one of the guinea hens. And then I take the ramifications civilly, or I get a $500 fine, and then I have to pay my neighbors for restitution for the chicken. That seems like it's a civil matter, not a euthanization matter.
It's the
Well, I don't think that the board may not be able to say the dog needs to be euthanized, but
It just seems that those words that are being used seem pretty severe when we have hundreds of dogs in this town.
Well, if a dog
And
is
many
deemed
dangerous breeds.
dangerous, what do they do at the Humane Society?
Who said it's dangerous?
Sheila has.
Okay,
Where is
okay.
she here?
she didn't,
Right, so it's hearsay. Chairman, it's hearsay.
You guys talk,
Right.
Sorry.
But it's hearsay. Chris said, Larry said, who said, she's not here to defend herself. Everybody says that Sheila said the dog's dangerous.
she was aware of the hearing, right?
Yeah, I sent her a certified letter.
Right. But neither if she's here or at the meeting or not, it is some very, I have dogs, I understand. But it is very, this hits home with your animals. And I get that somebody lost a lot of chickens. But that doesn't mean that the dog needs to be put down. I'm a huge proponent for live kennels, not death kennels. I'm a huge proponent for if we have a dangerous dog, then let's find a solution, a better house for it, or a better area. But if the state and the Orange County sheriffs have been there, and they allowed her to keep 49 dogs, it's ludicrous. We all think the law is ludicrous, especially there. But the reality is that they've been there. They let her keep the dogs, they let her keep the cats, they let her keep the chickens, they let her keep the pigs, till when we finally found the pigs that were about dead. We all know the story, but the state and the Orange County Sheriff's been there. It's going to be, I think you're gonna find even if we went to VSP and went to our town attorney and spent the money, we're still gonna find out it's a civil matter. Until somebody's dead, and I agree, it's too late at that point, but the state and the Orange County Sheriff's have been there.
We haven't made any decision yet. Cody?
So we do have in the policy, there is another step we can take if you wanna
Sure,
expand on it.
so Sarah Buxton, town attorney, my firm represents the town. Here on a different matter, but as we were getting prepped, I did review your own town policy, and I'll give you just some background on what power the select board does have. And sir, you're right, in many cases, towns have very little power. You only have the power if the state gives you the power. This is one of just a handful of places where you have more power than Vermont State Police and the sheriffs. Where the legislature has said it's up to the town, they give you some guardrails, but it's up to a town to pass these policies for animal control. And in your policy, as I think Cody, you're just kind of reading through, passed in 2016, you set some of the guardrails. One is you set your fines and your fees, and apparently you are enforcing to that extent. If you don't know that you're being paid, that money needs to come back to you, so I can help you follow up to make sure the town is getting its minus administrative expense, that you're getting it. Additionally, when there's a hearing, when the person has been duly notified as the statute requires you to do, they come up and they can say their side of the story, and if they don't come, they waive that right. So if this person was notified to come and speak in their own defense and give you the other side of the story, they have an opportunity to do that. You can look at other circumstances and other damages. So in your policy, you say the owner is responsible. All costs associated with the management of the biting animal shall be borne by the owner. So to some reasonable extent, this is not an area that's heavily litigated. So I would just caution you to be reasonable in assessing what beyond the fines you would want to assess, but I could see damages, if there are medical expenses, if there were humans at play here, you could take that into consideration. Those fines can be found and, you can order the payment of those fines. And if they go unpaid, you can have that enforced by a court. Additionally, you can have an animal, after such a hearing, you can have an animal impounded, and in your policy it says an incident of attack or mauling of a person or repeat occurrences of any bite attack shall result in the animal being disposed of in a humane way. The reason you have to go through this as an ordinance rather than just a policy is it has greater effect because there are consequences, very serious ones, as this gentleman is pointing out. But so long as you follow your policy, you've had the opportunity for a hearing, and you apply this ordinance consistently, some of the things you can do tonight are ask for further tickets to be issued. You can have one or more of the animals, upon your own finding of cause, be impounded until such fines are all paid, including damages. And you can go as far as, if you find it to be necessary, you can order for the animal to be disposed of in a humane way. The process, depending on what you choose, the process by which that happens might need a little further research, like who holds the pet, where are they held, for how long. It may be a multi-step process that the select board goes through starting tonight with some of your initial findings, but I just wanted you to know that you do have more power than you normally would have, and that's typically where, especially the Orange County and other county sheriffs feel like their hands are tied, is because municipalities have this power, but they don't typically exercise it. So you have the policy. I would recommend maybe you update it because the laws have changed and you have some greater powers over the last, 4 or 5 years. But at least as it exists on the books, you've done what you've needed to do to lay the groundwork for your decision making.
Is there, in that policy, is there a provision to cover the cost of impounding the dog?
Yes.
So she has to pay that along with the fine and along with restitution to the property owners?
What damages, it says that you have the power to assess what beyond the fines would be reasonable, so that you can
So we could include their damages?
yes, to make all, and it refers to all parties, so that's why when I was reading it carefully to make sure that you could put yourselves, or you could consider the shoes of the other affected victim. It appears that you've already set in your own ordinance that you can consider that.
I have a question, because I looked it up, and you're an attorney. VSA 20-35-45, a right to kill domestic pets or wolf hybrids generally. So, this is state law.
Yep.
Section B says a domestic pet or wolf hybrid found wounding, killing, or worrying another domestic pet or wolf hybrid, a domestic animal, or fowl, and I googled fowl. Chickens are considered fowl. I mean, maybe not, Google legally they are considered fowl. May be killed when the attendant circumstances are such that the killing is reasonably necessary to prevent injury to the animal or fowl that is the subject of the attack.
Yes.
So that is state statute. That has nothing to do with our personal town. That's why I printed it, because I was gonna question that. And we did have, and I was part of it, a public committee to update the policies, and then the select board kind of disbanded that. So we might need to rethink that, because clearly we still have some.
Wasn't there an issue where the state was changing the laws or something, so?
Yeah, because somebody had to go to class. Was it the state police or was it the, remember?
Both.
Yeah.
I think Rodney was telling us about it.
Yes, Rodney
They
told
were
us.
changing.
One of the officers needed to go for special training.
Yes,
Yeah.
That was
How
And
to
that's
detect,
when
how to
Orange
detect
County Sheriff's Department
inhumane
fell apart.
treatment.
Yes.
yeah.
Because we came to that. So
But I
you're
will say,
right,
I do have,
Sensitivity.
you're right with that law, and, then it comes down to, because there's more in that section,
Yeah.
who can enforce it? And I think that's where the sheriff's department, the legislature didn't say it exists in the criminal statute for, the enforcement power at that level. But if you go through at this local level, which requires a hearing, notice and opportunity to be heard, neutral parties. I'm assuming you're all neutral and none of you own the dog or been affected by it. Neutral parties to act as impartial adjudicators in this instance and, weigh the claims. So as long as that process is in place, that's kind of the local substitute for what can be very personal, very difficult issues. It falls in your lap.
Can I say something?
Sure.
So when Patricia and I met yesterday, and then Erin and I spoke today to see if what the neighborhood could, be content with removing the dog from the neighborhood, but not necessarily having the select board say the dog needs to be euthanized. The dog does have a bite history. It has bitten a human before it ended up in her care. I do know that firsthand. But it wasn't in her care when that happened. So we were thinking, if the select board feels that the dog shouldn't reside in Williamstown, could it be evaluated by the Central Vermont Humane Society or another, non-biased, reputable rescue to determine if it is a candidate for adoption. And if they say yes, they think it can be adopted into another home, then, she can sign it over to whoever is willing to rehome it. It just can't be rehomed in Williamstown. And then we would need proof where it went so that the animal control officer in that town can be contacted to make them aware of what had happened here. I think based on my interactions and previous interactions with Sheila, I think the select board will need to be very specific in what they want to happen to this dog versus like a more generic statement of remove it from the town. Because I think we will need to have some sort of, I hate to use the word proof, but some sort of like documentation of where it is versus just trust.
And I just
Well, I
want to say, I said euthanasia, not because I want it to die, but I'm kind of scared that there's no hope for it. And I feel bad for the dog because it's had a crappy life. You know what I mean? But sometimes there is no saving.
Dogs got a pretty good rap sheet, I don't know if anybody probably gonna want them.
Yeah.
Probably not,
Well,
but
yeah, but it
but
doesn't take away like you saying you have to euthanize this
Yeah.
dog. It puts it in another
I mean,
like
it should
unbiased
be-
person who's
Yeah.
licensed to do behavior,
It
to
should be
say,
tested, it's
yeah,
behavior.
we all know it probably, in our industry, it probably will not pass said test, but then somebody else is saying it needs to be euthanized. Kind of takes the heat off of you guys with her potentially, but also that is an option to not, to impound it and say it needs to be assessed that it can live in this world.
and Country Canine in Orange is that's where I would advocate it would go because she runs a tight ship and it's a good kennel that can definitely contain, any dog.
So, the way I'm looking at it is, if we take this dog from her, she's probably not gonna wanna pay for the boarding of it. So town's gonna be on the hook for it. So I think if we do something like that, we should set a timeline, like maybe 10 days or something like that. Cause they're gonna wanna get paid for taking care of the dog, right?
Well, will she have a choice?
So if she doesn't pay, and you've ordered her to pay, and it goes up above $800, you can file, you can file in Orange County Court and have the judge order her to pay.
Right, but I'm saying if we say we want this dog out of Williamstown,
Yeah,
we take it away from her.
Yep.
Sheriff or whoever we tell to do it. She still have to pay for boarding that dog?
yeah. I mean, whether
That'd be
she
like
will
it.
or not will be, I mean, you will know whether or not you're gonna have to go to a judge and have a judge then order her to pay, and then when you don't pay, then they're in contempt, and then you can take actions to take out a, lien against their home. I mean, there are steps that a court can, tools a court can use to compel payment of fines and fees, but it takes a little while, and you have to have the appetite to do that.
Anybody think about telling her, hey, this dog has been a problem, it needs to be kept in a chain link kennel that it cannot escape out of, like a concrete floor and a
We've been,
roof over it?
We've been
down that road.
We've been
You already
dealing
been
with,
down that road?
Yeah, the
I mean, not
last,
with this specific
the
dog.
last
this
hearing,
dog.
she told me, I guess her lawyer was here for that meeting, said that she will never have a dog out of the fencing or off of the leash again,
Yeah.
period.
Oh,
That was what she said she would do.
Oh, wow.
And this dog, this is the dog we're talking about, but I drive by all the time, and there are dogs in the driveway loose.
There were two yesterday
There's no-
when I met, when
I
went
can
to
tell
the
you what
meeting.
two they are, because they're always there. No, but yeah, it's, normally, yes, you just go talk to your neighbor, and you say like, hey, let's do something here.
No, I meant.
But yeah, no, we've been there, yeah.
this
This
has
has
been
been
going
happening.
on for, well, I've been on the board for 4 years now. And this has been,
Probably since 2018, right, that's when she moved to Williamstown. Yeah.
It started before that.
so,
Well, kenneling isn't an option.
Well,
Now,
I mean,
if we-
it would be.
can we issue a fine on top of what we've already got here in writing? That would be to include $640 for the replacement of lost animals. I would put down $500 for pain and suffering. And impound the animal, plus room and board, until seen fit. We gotta stop this once and for all.
I had to shoot one of my guineas because her skin and feathers were torn off her and she was just laying there. I had to shoot her, 'cause she wouldn't.
Would that be 500 to each person, or 500 for them to split?
Well, pain and suffering, I think that's the
Yeah.
one I would have the hardest
Yeah.
time
Yeah, I agree with that, I
defending
think.
with that, but you can do, subsequent offenses, it sounds like you're multiple offenses, so you're already at $500 for each offense. Each guinea attack,
She's
Oh,
also,
potentially,
her dog
You-
also
can you do it
kills
per
guineas
animal?
before.
I mean, that would be.
it doesn't say that you can.
So for
Wake
for all 10 of them? Or 12? 12 of them would be $500 a piece, and impound the dog? I mean, she'll pay
Well,
it, but,
She's not gonna pay that.
I don't know.
Who would pay that?
I don't know.
I just don't wanna see that dog, we're paying the bill for that dog be around forever. I think we gotta set some kind of time limit. If they don't find a place within 10 days or 30 days, whatever we decide on, that the dog gets put away.
Yeah.
So,
Otherwise, you could take that thing for years.
right, no, I agree with that, but in the process of the dog being impounded, if you wanna use that, if, in a dog kennel, I would like to see, make sure that includes some kind of trained rehabilitation for that dog. Give the dog the best chance it can for survival within capable hands. Apparently, it's not in capable hands.
I agree.
Right, yeah,
I don't believe,
yeah.
to be honestly, the dogs, some are bred for killing and whatever, they're not all bad animals, bad trainers.
Yes.
So give the dog,
Bad owners.
I won't say more than 30 days by any means. And I know that we were gonna be initially footing the bill, that can come back to us at a different point if it has to go to court. But give the dog a fighting chance, like it did the chickens.
I mean, you
You know, after that, if it can't be rehabilitated, then euthanization obviously would be the next step, but at least go that step while it's in the
That
forest.
place, you all set?
Yeah.
That place you're talking about, is that something you're reasonably sure could take this dog?
They would take it, yes, and I think she charges 25 a day for if the town were paying, but I think it's 30 per day for an owner. She, also, we have had, trainers go evaluate dogs at her place, so she is open to that, so like you could say, within 14 days, a certified trainer, whatever you wanna call them, would come assess the dog and then write a report to the select board of their findings. And if the dog can be adopted out, then great, we find a place for it, a rescue that would be willing to take it. If it can't, then, you know, I mean, you could see if she'd be willing to surrender it, at which point, I mean, then whoever takes the dog would then be responsible for it.
See, that's where I don't feel safe. If the dog is damaged enough now to create damage, let's put it in a secure environment where there is a professional trainer. I wouldn't wanna see that go to my kid's house.
Well, right.
Just because somebody wanted to adopt a dog, no. That dog is gonna be trained, you know, given whether it's 7 days, 14 days by a person each day to go through the process and work with this dog. And if it's not gonna happen, it's not gonna happen. But I wouldn't wanna see in the 14 days, or just somebody walk in, yeah, this dog can be rehabilitated, sign a paper and let it go off to somebody's house, no. There's gonna be stipulations, cause it's already done damage.
Yeah.
I think train the dog not to eat chicken.
I don't know.
You feed it.
Train him about a sit.
You feed it, you put it in a cage, I don't know, but I'm just trying to think of the most humane but most realistic, so I can go to sleep at night knowing we're doing the right thing.
Right.
For both the people that it's going to or possibly going to, and the animal.
Yeah.
Obviously, right now, it's not in the best place for anyone, so.
Right, the question is, I mean, it's lived there 6 years, so can this be turned around? And that's up to,
Yeah, you'd need like a licensed behaviorist.
yeah, to go and work
Fair
with
enough.
it.
Cody,
So, my thoughts right now, my opinion would be another $500 fine, plus the damages of the losses, so the $640. Dog needs to be taken, so we petition the court. And if she can't get the dog back unless she pays all the fines, and only if after the dog's looked at and if they say it could come back.
I'm not saying it could come back to Williamstown, or at least a different owner. I don't want, it'd be like taking, turning around and putting it right back in the same scenario.
Do we have to go to court to issue another fine?
You don't have to for another fine, and Cody, it looks like, when I was looking at your ordinance, you already claimed your power in your ordinance to just be able to go and seize the dog. If doors closed, you're not able to do that, then you can go to court and the court can authorize the sheriff to
Yeah.
go and support you in doing that.
I'm not allowed on her property, so
Okay.
I can't.
So then if you can't logistically get it, you can go to the court and get them to authorize law enforcement to do that.
get a warrant.
It would be like a warrant, yep, an order. Mhm. Yep, a warrant to enter private land, seize and impound animals.
Not like him.
So, let me ask you guys, if does that seem reasonable if she pays all the fines and after the dog gets looked at by whoever, they said, you know, yes, it's okay to go back? Is that something you guys would be okay with, or you just don't want that?
I think for her to get it back, she needs to fence in her entire property.
I
That would be the only way, with like, I'm talking 12-foot fences. Like, this dog goes up and over her fences now. I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen her fences, they're all falling down. But she can, my biggest thing is she cannot contain this dog. Whether it's the sweetest dog in the world, the most aggressive dog. She has proven she can't contain this dog, and it has caused these problems. I think for it to return to her, it needs to be like a list. Like, she needs to have a kennel that can contain this dog for any time it is out of control. She needs to have fencing covering her entire property that this dog cannot get out of. Not entire property, but you know, a fence, a reasonable space, not her whole property. That'd be crazy. And like, she needs to have all of the proper things to control this dog. Appropriate, like by a trained, like a certified trainer, certified behaviorist, that is, this dog needs these things when it exists in the world in her care. Or it can go somewhere else. I think it needs to be like really broken down because she cannot contain this dog.
And I don't think she can because she's got how many?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I see.
But,
If it
Yeah.
was one dog, that'd be one thing.
Yeah.
Right, in the policy that we have, I didn't see anything, do we have any way of, hey, you gotta fix the fencing, you gotta,
Yeah, it says, so if you look at section 8, based on the circumstances, the select board may investigate to determine if justification exists for additional penalties other than a fine, so that's what you're doing.
yeah,
Based on the circumstances, these additional enforcement measures may include mandatory containment, muzzling, or restraint or removal of the animal from the custody and control of the owner.
okay.
That sounds like what you're doing, and I think putting conditions on the return, it certainly doesn't preclude you from, you know, putting those conditions on if you find that those are, you know, reasonable.
Can I just say too, she's been trying to adopt this dog out, so why not just let the dog go? You know, remove the dog. I'd rather see the dog go.
I think worst problem of this whole deal is this has been an ongoing issue.
Yeah.
There's no reason anybody needs to have 49 dogs.
No, it's not ridiculous.
This dog is gonna be, another dog is gonna be an issue.
If you do the like putting the stipulations on it, she can't claim that you're just trying to take her dog away. Like you are, like you're saying, I'm gonna impound it, but the way that she likes to kind of come at things is you're like, no, you can have your dog back, I'm not saying you can't, but here is our list of things you have to accomplish in 14 days, or whatever your timing you wanna be. I recommend 10, because wherever this dog goes is not going to love dealing with it, probably. And just from like 6 years of this ingrained behavior, it will take twice that amount of time to get the behaviors out of the dog. He's not gonna live 12 more years. So I think, you know, spending the 10 days will be plenty to get an idea of, you know, 10 to 14 days will be plenty to get an idea of what that dog needs.
My guess is that dog's already attacked chickens, he likes doing that, and he ain't gonna stop doing it. no matter
Yeah,
what.
and he didn't attack the chickens and ate them, he attacked them
Get a ball.
to torture them, I guess,
Yeah.
which is very odd.
Being a dog.
Yeah, he's always dog, yeah.
There's
But
no
yeah,
control.
so that is also,
I think what we need
doing
to
it,
do
yeah.
is, I'm gonna take Chris's question here in a second, but I think what we need to do is look into this, we've had the public hearing, we need to look into this further, what legal means we can do with it, actually have teeth in it to get something done.
Well, I think we already have that, Larry.
Right, no, but I mean, we need to have council to advise us, so we do it right, make sure this thing sticks. Would you agree with that?
Sure, yes.
Okay.
Have a very clearly written, I think what you're thinking is, make sure it's clearly written out,
Right,
everyone knows if this, then that, and that if things aren't followed, that everyone understands how money is gonna get paid and how it's gonna get recovered, or what the disposition of the animal will be in the event that conditions aren't met.
right.
Is there an appeal?
It doesn't look like you have, well, so it doesn't look like you have put an appeal in here, but there are, they can consult with their attorney on the remedies available to them.
Okay.
What's the timeline on something like that?
So since this is a hearing, what I would suggest that you would do is, continue the hearing maybe until your next meeting if you want, and then maybe deliberate, when we go into executive session. Your deliberation isn't subject to open meeting law, so you can deliberate, you can decide what you want. You can take some time and consult with your animal control officer, and then finalize your decision at your next meeting.
Or even after,
You don't have to do it tonight, if that's what you're asking. You
but
don't
if we
have to do
wanted
it.
to, if we
But if
want.
you wanted to, yes, if you wanted tonight to decide and to vote what your parameters are, then you can use some language to say, subject to, a written decision issued by, approved and issued by council. And designate, the chair or the town manager to then tidy up any loose ends if any of the problems come up, and come back to you if there's any substantial change to your decision.
Well, we are having an executive session for legal issues tonight already, so
Yep.
we could talk about that later as well.
Yep.
So,
Chris had.
Just,
Chris.
Larry, you okay, Larry? I have a statement. You said it best. That this person shouldn't have a gerbil. We all know that. It's disgusting. It's always been disgusting for a very long time. The town said this is a nuisance forever. I think we need a humane solution because it's not the animal's fault. This animal is a known breed that is a killer, but it's not this animal's fault. As a citizen here, if it was my dog, I like yours, I like Clayton's, I like Cody's, especially like Scott's, in saying, let's penalize the owner. Let's get the dog away from this owner because you can take it away. Give it 10 days, like you said, at a professional facility that our animal control officer said, but it is not the dog's fault that this facility has been allowed to go on and on and on and on and on. But it is going to be a very bad issue that if we do this to this dog and we make a rash decision, I think maybe council would agree with you, Chair, that we have a lot of dogs in this town, and based upon what we do have in our policy is, if there's a similar incident, I think we gotta treat it.
well, this dog has a history of human bites,
I
killing
agree with you.
chickens and everything else, so,
I agree with you, but it's also lived in a pile of shit for the last
right.
6 years. It's-
We'll discuss it all,
I
and
get it.
we wanna do it legal and do it so it works, it
I know.
sticks, yeah, so.
It's just remember, it's not the animal's fault.
I don't think anybody's wanting to put the dog down at this time. I mean,
Well,
from what I'm
I'm
hearing.
sick of kicking this can down the road.
Exactly.
We've got to do something with this whole
It's not,
situation.
Yeah, I
it's not
agree.
fair to the people around the place.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I'm behind you, and this has been kicked down the road a long time. And I think it's time we make a stand here
Right.
and do something.
100% behind you for that one, now. So we're gonna discuss this further and make sure we do it right, whatever we end up doing, and we'll let you know what the outcome is. And thank you for coming.
I can also contact Country Canine just to ask and verify that she'd be willing to house him.
They can work with Ryan on that, and then
Yeah,
we'll work with the council, and
yeah,
we'll probably come up with some parameters we're looking for tonight, but may not make a decision until we hear back from, we can get together another night, just 5 of us, just to discuss this
Okay.
for a few minutes if we need to. We won't leave you hanging, I don't think we gotta leave you hanging for a whole month until next
Oh,
week.
that would be nice.
But that might take a few days to make sure we get it right, you know? Is that everybody on board with that?
Yeah,
Yep.
Okay, well, thank you for coming in.
thank you.
Thank you.
You don't have to run off, you can still.
Stay if you want to.
And let you go.
I gotta get up at 4 AM.
Myself included, so.
Thank you.
No, I can do it until 5 tomorrow.
Of course I'm sitting. I'm staying, I'm here.
When you get one, take care.
I'll stay.
Okay, next item is 53 Beckett Street, 2024 tax sale discussion. Chris, or-
Desborough requested.
Chair, do you mind if I start, or you won't mind to start, because we both know I
Go ahead.
information. In 2024, we sold 53 Beckett Street, the known drug house in town that was raided twice at tax sale. At the time, we had a town attorney, his name was Jeffrey Pierce, and we had a different town manager. Jeffrey Lewis, excuse me. I apologize, I might mess up a few times, just to let you guys know, because I am on chemo, so I do it brain fog. So I've always had brain fog, Larry, but right now it's a little worse than ever. But Jeff Lewis, and his office is in South Royalton. Jeff Lewis, I submitted a Federal Public Information Act request to Ryan, which allows 3 days, if it's not involved in a criminal case, to provide all the public information that was provided as part of the sale, or any type of communications that were involved in this. I requested specifically for this tax sale. Ryan absolutely abided by the federal. He also met with my counsel. My counsel's not here tonight because she had an abscess tooth and went to an emergency dental, but her name is Catherine Hayes, so everybody knows, and Ryan has met her. The only reason I've got counsel is this is not it is a town issue. The town has an avenue here, and I'm not gonna speak for your counsel because you do have new counsel. But Mr. Lewis was paid to do due diligence in the tax sale, and that was to notify all lien holders, anybody that claimed any type of bills or mechanic liens or any type of liens at all on the 53 Beckett Street address. And how you do that is you notify them either by certified mail, signature required. You can do FedEx return, somebody sign for it, do anything. They choose to do USPS, and then they just changed to UPS actually. And his office, his paralegal returned all of the paperwork that they had. He had actually refused for multiple times to the town manager, and I don't want to speak for the town manager, but speaking to you of what I know, that he's refused to turn over in multiple requests proof that he notified Down Street Housing, which is the Vermont Land Trust. Vermont Land Trust is now part of Down Street Housing. And also the Vermont Historic Preservation Board, which hands out different types of grants to individuals. In this case, it was a single mother. It's public information. It was Brandy Todd that owned the property. USDA had the mortgage on it. They had a mortgage that was huge, over $200,000 on the property. The Historic Board had a $20,000 grant that they had given her, plus the caveat that they get paid X amount of the percentage of profit on any sale subsequent from that point forward. Doesn't matter if Brandy sold it, if I sold it, if any of you sold the property, they are entitled because they were not notified in due diligence. They were not notified of the tax sale. So there was two entities that were not. The Vermont Land Trust for $1,500 amount, and the VHCBA, excuse me, again, brain fog, but Ryan has all that information also, were not notified of the tax sale. Mr. Lewis cannot provide that information. He was hired and paid by the town to do that. Based upon my counsel's advice, is the only reason I hate to do this is because it ultimately is going after the town for the $21,500. The town then would absolutely go after malpractice insurance of Mr. Lewis because he did not. It's a tax sale. It's elementary as far as tax sales go. We paid Mr. Lewis a lot of money. That doesn't matter. We paid him for his services as the attorney. That's why he has insurance. He did not notify two entities, and it's costing me on the 16th of this month. I am paying off two liens, $21,500, that the town should not have sold the property at tax sale at that time. Again, Ryan and I have talked in detail with this. Ryan has also got my counsel. I've asked that the board be notified. The only reason I'm here tonight is I want to make sure that the whole board is notified, plus I want the townsfolk to know that I'm not trying to go after the town for the 21.5 because the town did hire counsel. My counsel will, of course, be filing suit against the town for the 21.5 as soon as I incur that damage, which will be on 16th at closing. Ultimately, and I'm talking out of church because you do have your own counsel, but your counsel's here, Larry, that is why he has malpractice insurance, because he did not do his due diligence as part of that individual tax sale. And based upon the information that he provided to your town manager and to me as part of the federal request for public information, he does not have the information to provide that he did do that. Of course, we can all say we did. He did, in fact, do it with USDA and had all the proper notifications, signed notice that they received notice, and a letter that they had relinquished their interest in the property. He would have also had to have that from the two boards that were involved with the grants, saying that they relinquished their interest in the property. I have, in fact, bought that relinquish for the 20,000 to one board, because they could still ask for a percentage of the profits. They have said, you give us $20,000, that was the original grant, we'll relinquish any percentage of the profits that we're entitled to, because they are, by statute. The $1,500 I'm paying, Down Street Housing doesn't even have an interest with it, but the state attorney, Mrs. Egan, has said, hey, you're paying one board, let's pay the other board, it's clean. I said, absolutely, I have an insurable title now all of a sudden, because before I had a tax sale deed. Now I'll have a insurable warranty deed as part of the 21.5 being done correctly. If it had been done correctly, I could have had a warranty deed previous to this. As of right now, the insurance company is doing this, the title insurance company is doing this knowing that at closing, they have two attorneys, one from Fred Pete's office, Will, and my attorney, Paul Bowles, who's my real estate attorney, have assured them that the checks will be issued, of course, for relinquishment of this. Therefore, the title insurance company will be issuing a title insurance on the warranty deed for the subsequent owner. So my damages won't be realized until the 16th, but it is $21,500, and I wanted to discuss it with the board to let them know that I don't believe the town is liable in any way other than to go after the council, which is what you hired to do the tax sales. And he did not do due diligence in finding all the lien holders, which are in fact on the first page of the deed. And I'm not an attorney, nor am I an expert in deeds. Buy a lot of properties, but I don't know deeds very well. I went in and read the first page of the deed, and they're sitting right there, black and white. And they're actually so black and white that it mentions both boards and the exact amounts, and that there is other statutes in the profit sharing on the property. So that is why I'm here. I would love it if I know it's a conflict of interest, but I'd love it if everybody could understand my position here, and realize that this is not an attack on my hometown. I'll still be living here as long as I live. And I've done my best to clean up that house, but we had an attorney at the time that did not do his due diligence. And I think your counsel, which I'm glad counsel is here today, Larry, and I think the board and Ryan is very aware of this situation, needs to know exactly the steps that happened here and realize that we hired an attorney that did not do his job. So that's all I'm here for.
I'm gonna ask you a question. Did you ever do a title search on the property before you closed on it?
Of course, there's two attorneys that went through that did that also, yes.
They didn't pick that up during that?
No. But Chris Desero did when he went in with Barb, and Barb helped me grab the deed, because I really truly don't know what the hell I'm doing in there, and it's there in black and white. Yep. But it still falls back to the original title, because they weren't notified. So it falls back to the original tax sale, because the property, those subsequent title searches didn't matter, because the property wasn't saleable at the time.
I mean, they usually when title search is done, they go way back, right up to the day they're doing it.
They sure do. And if
Before the
if the
closing.
attorney's still
We
practicing
check
and
it
he has,
before the
and he has
closing.
a malpractice insurance policy, then he is, the town,
I guess I don't understand why you're not going after your attorney, because he did title search on it, didn't pick it up, instead of going after the town. Don't take it personal, I just,
I hopefully you aren't either. I'm paying $21,500 because of an error that an attorney that the town hired made, and he has malpractice insurance that will cover the town in this situation. And the town should, it doesn't fall in my realm, but based upon the evidence of this one sale,
I mean, I bought,
I would advise the town to maybe have some of the tax sales of that generation reviewed, because it was scary.
I know, I bought a lot of property.
I know you do.
And I always have a title search done on it.
Yeah.
And if there's something's wrong in it, it has to be corrected before you close on it, or you don't, unless you decide you're gonna buy it anyway.
It is, and there's a liability in the plan.
My corrected my assumption, but, so I don't, to me, it seems like you should be going after your lawyers for not giving you a clean title on it.
Oh, I have a counsel that is not my real estate attorney that did the title search, and that's her choice to make, who we initially go after. It will ultimately, with two attorneys, it will ultimately trickle back to the fact that the town had no right to sell the property without notifying the lien holders.
If they'd have properly, they put the thing up for tax sale, right? And they have the tax sale, but they don't actually close on the property that same day. Probably it was 30 days later that you probably actually closed on. You gotta wait a year anyway to redeem it.
Right, but there could be a redemption period if they aren't notified. There's no redemption period if the two lien holders, there is zero redemption period if they are not notified. They always have a claim on the property.
I understand what you're saying, but they should have picked that up if they did title sale.
Just
I
gonna say,
100% agree with you.
Barb's got her hand up too.
But the original owner that bought it in the tax sale, Mr. Shinley, or
Sure.
Show. He's the one who bought it at the tax sale, waited 1 year and a day, and then it was his, and then I understand within a few weeks, it was yours.
Yes. You're 100% correct.
so,
Totally.
thanks for coming, Chris. I understand the predicament here. I would just recommend that we add this to the list of things to go over.
Sorry.
I'm with you, Cody, 100%.
Right,
There's gonna be a lot of.
We only know so much.
I get it.
I can't
I can't address her because of public meeting. I haven't addressed the chair. But, but it was a good night to come because the council is here and
Yeah.
Brian is fully aware of this and the board's aware of this. And
thank you for,
somebody somewhere,
Yeah.
Larry, you're exactly right. There's 3 attorneys that are now involved in this. It might be my own attorney who's doing 3 more closings for me, so it sucks. But you're exactly right. But I'm just letting the town know as a citizen that the attorney that we had hired for our tax sales, it's a blatant, and 2 other attorneys, Schiller's and then mine, made blatant
Mistakes.
mistakes. So if that's on one of those, we did a lot of tax sales those years.
Yeah.
A lot,
So
so.
finally, we have to.
Well,
just discuss it later.
we'll have to discuss it, see
No,
where
I
it
get,
goes.
I get it, and I just wanted to, it sucks because it looks like you're suing the town. And the fact is that I think people need to understand that that's why we hire counsel.
Right.
It wasn't you guys that made the decision to sell that property and then said, oh, what do we do now? We hired an expert, we paid him expert numbers, and whether it's the second attorney, the third attorney, the fifth attorney, it's an attorney's responsibility to make sure that I have sale the title. And not my responsibility because I paid the fee. I hire you to do my water, because I can't get it and operate a contractor, say nothing about, so, that's what I'm saying.
All we do is
Appreciate it.
authorize the tax sales, but we don't. we're not
I
really-
totally get it.
Thank you for
Yep.
coming in and sharing it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It sucks.
We'll,
I get it.
we'll get back to you on that when we figure things out on our end.
I will, and I apologize if my counsel, because I'm probably talking way out of church. And,
Well,
but my counsel wasn't here tonight, and I apologize, because she was gonna.
Well, she just happened to be here for another issue, but she could have got a plate full before she leaves.
Can I go now?
No flowers. Holy mackerel.
Well, when we have to sign the payroll warrant, we know where you all know where, that's the correct number.
Holy mackerel.
Okay, so that'll conclude that for now. Now, next item is a health officer appointment.
Yep, we just, Courtney Wade is interested in being a health officer again. The select board just needs to, vote to appoint her so that I can notify the state.
I make a motion to appoint her.
I'll second that motion.
Well, you don't want that job?
Well, I know
I've had
you
it for a
could,
few
I was
weeks,
just
I
saying,
don't
you
wanna-
complain about it every time you get it.
I do. Okay, motion made and seconded, any discussion on that? Nobody else wants to do it? Okay, good. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Okay, the 2026 LMP adoption.
So every year we have to go and update the local emergency management plan. That has all the contacts of everybody who should be involved in various emergencies that happen in town. I went through and updated it, didn't change the body of the plan is the same, I just updated my name as the emergency management director and our new road foreman as, in the categories he needed to be updated. And removed a couple people who aren't with the town anymore and updated some phone numbers, but the body of the plan remains exactly the same as it was last year. But I just need the select board to vote to adopt it, and then I pass that off to the state.
I looked it through, looks like fine to me, but
The only thing I know, just EMS, says Beartown EMS, no contact information. That was the only one that, everyone else has a phone number to contact.
they had David's phone.
They have, I don't know if they have his, I mean, there's another spot
Yeah, I
that's,
see it on there somewhere.
Oh, you're right. Yep, I can
that's the only thing I
can
saw
put a
that,
phone number in there.
yeah,
You're
just,
right.
it should have a contact, that was the only,
On page 3, yep.
page 3. That's the only thing I saw. Everything, everyone else has a contact.
I've never seen his name and Williams together with phone numbers. One for fire, one for ambulance.
Dude, I mean,
Yeah, right there on, page 7, facility contacts, William Graham, his phone number, David Danforth, his phone number.
So I'll just make sure to throw that into the.
Yeah.
Shelter manager, where Marie, what is that shelter manager? I don't understand that
If
one.
we have to put up a shelter for any reason, and typically that's gonna be at the high school.
Okay.
She will be the one heading up, supplies and organization and people management.
Okay, fair enough.
Just a question, I'm bringing that up, because with our flood 2, and the time flies, was it 2 or 3 years ago? We get a flood every year, but the big one, the high school was it, I think the firehouse has the cots. But if that's the emergency shelter, it'd be good if the high school has a closet or something. I'm just saying, like, legitimately,
good luck with that.
because I can assuredly say Meadow Street was part of the flood, and it would have been impossible, nearly
That makes
impossible,
sense, but.
to get things, I mean, being a volunteer firefighter here, I certainly brought up several residents as, Route 14 was getting flooded, this part of Meadow Street was, gone. So it'd be good just if that's our spot to have a way for those people, if they are being unhoused during a flood or other emergency, that those supplies are up there, that way we're not like, oh, I'm sorry you get to sleep in the gym tonight, but you're on the bleachers.
Yeah, I did talk with, Josh Bailey, who's the custodian up there.
Okay.
He said there are cots up there.
Okay, maybe they are. We have cots down here
Both
too.
places.
Okay.
Yeah, so he has the whole setup.
Okay, That's all, that's all, okay.
Do you need Gillespie's contact info there too?
Yeah, oh yeah, I'll put Gillespie's number.
And we don't wanna have to do this again.
Yep.
So I guess we need a motion to approve that as amended.
I make a motion to approve it as amended.
Second.
Motion made, seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so next item is Flint Road rehab project. As you know, we had a proposal out there to redo 13.5 miles of road, and for $1 million bond, and it passed the first time, and the way it was set up wasn't quite the way the bond bank requires it to be. So we had to redo it, and it failed by 17 votes, the second time, so. Anyway, the need is still there. Ryan and I did a tour during the last part of mud season and found areas that really need some drainage work. To the areas that we did last year with the drainage pipe and we've done in previous years, it was 0 issues. It was no humps, no bumps, no water, no mud, no nothing. So one of the areas we looked at doing was Terriot Hill, the section on Gilbert Road, and then more on Flint Road that we were going to do last year, but the measurements were screwed up, so we didn't have enough money to do it all. And then there was an area above that really needs it before we put any money into that road. We picked Flint Road for an obvious reason. Anybody in this room, what were you, how homes do you believe are on Flint Road? It's 2.4 miles between Flint Road and Cold Spring. How many homes do you think Flint Road serves?
25.
How many?
25.
25?
I'm gonna say 50.
I think
Get closer.
I think he's closer.
I was guessing 40, 50 myself. It was 80. 80 on that short
I
stretch.
was up through there last week, I just don't count.
There's three vacant lots ready for homes. There's 80 actual living residents that directly have to use Flint Road to get out of their place. That doesn't count, if people come from Cold Springs Road and that way. That's just directly feeding into Flint Road, George Road, Beatty Mountain Road, and all the way on Flint Road itself. We counted every place all the way from the end of the road to the four-way intersection by the schools, and I was surprised too. So we thought at that point that we had to use that, would make a good test session, and maybe we'll change the way we do things in the future. We may just try to increase the highway budget to do something like this every year, or go for the bond and try to get more done. But this would give a good, solid numbers for how much material it's going to take, how long it would take the town crew to do it, everything. So we go back for the bond vote, we'll have this history right here. It's gonna serve all these people. So I mean, you take Bassett, like Baptist Street's twice as long, but I don't even think there's a quarter of the people that there is on this stretch of road. So it'd be a good test. So Ryan worked on put stuff together. We firstly thought maybe we could use the $114,000 sitting there to pay the bond that we could have, if we approved, but that probably ain't the right thing to do. So he worked with the treasurer and stuff, and we could do it our own. I'll let Ryan take it from here.
Yeah, so the details for the Flint Road rehab project, so it'd be about 1.8 miles, we'd stop at Moore Road. And we'll do some very significant under drain work, ditching, culverts, resurfacing. We'll spend a little under $7,500 for the proper amount of feet for under drain. Then we have crushed granite material, And we're figuring that the road about 22 feet wide, sometimes it narrows down a little bit. That is the biggest cost of the project at $116,500 for the use of the granite material. Another $8,500 in 3/4 inch stone. And we need filter fabric, which is $500 for a roll, that will cover that. And then the plant mix material comes in to about $8,000. So the total for the entire project will be $140,942. We have just over $96,000 in our current reserve fund. And then when we switch to our new fiscal year on July 1st, we add another $150,000, which gives us $246,268 to play with. So we would have $105,326 left in the reserve still to work on other areas after completing the Flint Road project. The only thing I didn't have on here for a number, because I didn't have a quote yet, is Larry talked about getting a hammer attachment that we could use to get through ledge, so we wouldn't have to interrupt the drainage. And I got a quote from United, and they could sell us a hammer attachment for $10,500, so that we can.
Is that a month?
That's
or-
installed.
It would be ours.
It's a hydraulic hammer.
Yeah.
That price is installed on it. We've got a John Deere 60, it's the same as we have one of those. We bought that one for ours a couple years ago. It works great.
That's for the excavator.
If you're gonna do ditch work, and you're going down through, you're gonna hit some ledges here and there, a streak of ledge, you can hammer it out with that so you can keep the ditch flowing like it should.
Yeah.
Same thing with the secret to the under drain is you gotta have it 5 feet deep, and you gotta keep it going. You can't just like go up over a hump of ledge and back down again, because the water will bubble up in the road. So if you're gonna do that kind of work, it's almost a must, otherwise you have to shut the project down and wait for somebody to come in and hammer it. You're gonna eat up that $10,000 real fast, try to get somebody to come in every time you need to hit a chunk of ledge. It would be a great tool for the town to have, so you're doing ditch work, if there's any ridge of ledge that's in the way, instead of beating the machine to death trying to take it out, or you just throw that hammer on, whack it out, and keep your ditch going good. It's I couldn't stress enough, it's a good investment.
It goes on the excavator.
They'll go right on town, 60, John Deere 60 excavator.
Okay.
And if you have like a water main break or something in the winter time, and this is frost, it needs to be broken around it to fix up, or any other thing you need to build jackhammer frost real good, we use it for roads. If we're gonna do the drainage work ourselves, like we did it last year, our company did it, we had our own hammers, stuff to do it with, we had a ledge closet, so much cubic yard we hit it, but the town's gonna do it, you'll have to get somebody come in special to take that ledge out, it'll stop everything for, at least a day.
Okay, you got me sold on the idea aspect of it. Just out of curiosity, is it kind of like a quick change attachment on this?
Take it
So
off, you put a couple hoses
within
on.
an hour,
It's just like putting a
it's changed
clean-out
from
bucket
bucket
on
to
it.
hammer, so you're not waiting half the day. I know, I just wanna make sure the guys are able to change that shit on the job and get it done.
If you got it there on site, maybe take 15 minutes to put it
Done.
on.
Okay,
It's
as you should,
very
I'm
simple.
making sure.
So, I mean, if we're gonna do this, I mean, we did numbers, I was a little better last year on it, at $75 a foot. And with all the footage we put in, it's like 200 and something $1,000 it would cost to have someone, like a contractor, come in and do it. We can do it with our guys, but they just need the tools to work with to get it done. So, if they run in a chunk of ledge, they're gonna come to a stop. If somebody comes and removes it, or I ain't gonna mention any names, but they have had some done in the past. They didn't get it down the right depth. If you don't get down 5 feet, the road freezes down to 3 feet, or 3 or 4 feet, and the pipe's at 3 feet. All the water and stuff is froze around it, and it don't work. So you gotta have it down low enough so the water gets down below the frost and drains out. And if you put it in, you do it right, the problem solved. So, but you're gonna need a hammer. I'm definitely gonna run a hit ledge here and there. It's just the way it is around here.
Yeah, I'm all for the hammer.
I gotta, I'm sorry, Cody.
No, you're,
I was just thinking out loud.
I'm assuming you talked with Ellen
Yeah,
about this, and he's pretty confident that
Yep.
they can handle this, and,
absolutely.
okay,
He just
alright,
wants to know when he can start,
okay.
or if he can start.
Did they give do you guys have like a timeline-ish of this is about how long we think it would take, or?
I'm not sure on that one.
They should be able to do this in a couple of weeks' time. Not the drainage part, but the road surface itself. The drainage part will probably take, it was 2,500 feet. There'll be a couple of weeks on that at least. It's like 3 different sections.
Okay, just getting the drainage and then top dressing after that, but yeah.
Do drainage first, then do the ditch it and drainage and whatever culverts need to be done, and then the road service will be the last thing.
Yeah.
It'd be an excellent test run to going forward. We'll know exactly what the road crew's capable of doing, and how much they could do in a week's time, and, how many feet, what the cost will be. And, I think that road with that many homes on it was a good spot to start, in my opinion.
And this is kind of a side question, but kind of has to fall back to this. Do you know with all the grading that's been done, are they using the roller afterwards?
It sounds like the roller gets used just when they put down the calcium chloride. Is that?
It was my understanding that we bought the roller, so every time the road's graded, you go over.
Oh, yeah, but this is a different type of situation.
No, I know, my point with that is being if we purchased a roller for that purpose,
Yeah.
spent money, and it's not being used, we're not gaining the benefits from it. I don't wanna get into the situation where we're buying equipment and it's not being used.
Yeah, I mean, I can ask him
I
what
know
the
it would be
process
used,
is.
I know the hammer would be
The
used
roller
on this, but.
that they use is, the purpose of that roller is after they grade the road to roll it, put chloride on it.
Yes,
Yeah.
You need a vibratory roller for this project initially.
Yeah.
Then after that, when they grade it, they'll use a roller.
Yeah. I get that, my thing is I just don't wanna spend money on equipment if we aren't gonna use it. Cause it seems like the roller that we purchased isn't really being used like it was intended to be. It's just not being used.
Yeah.
Which means the roads aren't lasting as long from the grading, which was the whole point of buying the roller.
Yeah,
So I don't wanna see this, when we do jobs like this, that to carry over where we're purchasing equipment, but then the equipment's not getting used,
Well, that hammer will sit there, do nothing until you get a chunk of ledge.
Right, I get that, it's just in the back of my head, just,
Where I was going with it, you live on that road. A good place for that is gonna get used, and I'm gonna recommend it after, is between the 2 Martins.
Yep.
Where the road always washes on the Baptist Street.
Yep.
And I know it's ledge, I know that's why there's no ditch there.
you talking about on the tree side,
No, the opposite.
the other side, okay.
It always runs down there, and I know that's why it's not ditched. It's gonna sledge, and that'll be a great place to.
Yeah, I actually just talked to him today about that, so, different thing, but yes, okay.
When you do Baptist Street, if it ever gets that rehab project there, that road will be up 9 inches, so it'll help some as far as getting some sort of addiction.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, it's gonna cost, with the amount of footage you're gonna do between Terrio Hill and Bilber Road and Flit Road, I guarantee you're gonna hit ledge at least 3-4 times, I guess. Might be my
No
guess.
doubt.
And then if you have to stop everything and get somebody to come in and do it, probably gonna spend $2,000-3,000 every time just trying to get something that they could have just put that on in a couple hours' time, I've gone through it. And you'd probably spend the $10,000 hiring somebody else to come do it for you.
Sure.
And then you'll have this to go on for years to come, you know? They do require maintenance, they gotta make sure you pump them with grease, cause if you don't grease them, they'll wear out, and then my big one, I got one that goes on a big excavator. And we haven't had to do the little one yet, because we haven't used it that much, but, you're looking at $25,000 rebuild on that size. The little one, I'm guessing probably 5,000, but But, you know, if you keep it greased good and maintained, it'll last a long time.
My question, I just looked at the road rehab project letter, and Flint Road's on it, is there a reason Flint Road over the other versus Martin versus Baptist versus Chelsea, South Hill Tower, George?
Sheer amount of people that
The
we
80
found.
Just, so that it's the amount of residents that live there, okay,
Yeah.
that was my question, why that road versus,
See if they can get more bang for the buck on this one you can anywhere else, for the mileage.
I just didn't know if there was worse roads, that was my biggest question.
That was right, I mean, they're all in bad shape, that's why I don't, but I mean, this
They're all
one's,
in a first place tie for the worst.
Okay. But this one gets it because they have the most residents.
You know,
makes sense to me.
we see areas when we're checking the roads that there was ditch work done previously that was on the hill like this, never rip trapped it, it's all washed out, trenches down through it. If it'd been done correctly, they wouldn't have had that issue.
And then it is,
Everything downstream is plugged with dirt because it's all washed out.
and my biggest thing too is the town, that was the only question I actually wrote down, it's the town doing the work, no private contractors.
Yep.
And if there are any private contractors, if, you know, something comes out of left field, those will go to bid.
Yep.
Because it's not an emergency
Correct.
situation.
The only thing they're gonna need is hire maybe a couple dump trucks when they're doing the overlay.
Okay.
That's just normal.
Yeah.
Chris,
There is a passable or unpassable during the construction?
what's that?
Passable or unpassable during the construction? Will that section of road be passable? Will there be a one lane at least that people can pass on, or will you actually have to shut down that stretch of road?
There's some narrow spots in the road that
Okay.
there's ways around both ways.
No, I know, there's ways around, it's just notifying the residents, I think is pretty important.
The most economical way they can do it is to close the road to through traffic.
Yeah.
Because, you know, there's areas where you can't, because the
It's
only
dirt cheap, your $1,743 is the budget based upon the number of residents you guys counted. There's no question that's the best bang for our buck for road. It's just residents should, some of those guys are gonna have a long drive around. Depends on which end of the railroad you live on, you know?
There's two ways to look at it, their road's getting done, others aren't, so.
Yeah, it's not going Luke Duke anymore.
Okay,
I'm telling you, some of them were this year.
all right.
I don't, so, should we make a motion on this?
Good one back.
I'll make a motion to go ahead, with this project and purchase the hammer.
I'll second that motion.
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Well, the boys got some work to do now.
Yeah.
You'll be a full-fledged road commissioner before we get done with you. Probably gonna be a lawyer too. Okay, now we got a liquor license for the Embers, I think it is.
Oh, this is the new place, right?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure about this.
There's,
The business is Lila's Way, I mean,
That's where she
That's
lives.
where
the
she,
business
that's what,
address, I kept looking at that every time, I'm like, Lila's Way, they putting a bar, I said,
yeah, no, that's where they reside, no, they bought, last year they bought Route 14, and it's gonna be a new, restaurant, it's supposed to be opening, I believe, the end of this month. I'm not sure that.
where is this gonna be located?
right beside that lot where I tore the house down.
Oh, okay.
Where I lived,
Oh, the two houses that were for sale.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yes, right across from town hall here.
Oh,
It's called the Embers. So they've applied for their outside first class and I think third class.
Payment yet?
Oh, what's that?
We usually
Yeah,
approve
I
these
was just-
pending
No,
payment,
they have
right?
not, no,
Okay.
they have not paid yet,
Yeah,
so.
okay.
And I have not heard from your rock solid for,
I think they're still good till the end of the month, isn't it?
they're still good to the end of the month.
Yeah, so that's our business manager will take care of that.
Oh, okay, so we'll bring that.
That's out of my hands.
Okay. So right now, it's just the Embers, so, you wanna approve pending payment?
Same as
Yeah.
we've done in the past.
Yeah.
Same as we've done in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just some quick, I guess I should,
Okay, can I hear a motion on that?
I make a motion.
Make a motion?
Yeah, I'll second it.
Motion made, seconded, any discussion?
I just have a question, because Barb said, what is the difference between a first and a third class bar?
One is hard liquor, I'm not sure if that's first or third.
So the difference, so basically, but you're.
One is hard
Okay.
liquor, the other is probably a beer wine, I would imagine.
Yeah, and then outside consumption,
Either they're gonna have like a porch or something, and you can bring your drinks out on the porch.
because I believe, I'm assuming the pub has that, just,
Yes.
but
the
they
pub-
have to stay
the
on
pub
that
just-
porch.
The pub just got theirs.
Okay.
I have not received Dollar General's yet either, but,
That's one,
Yeah, they can't go off the porch.
okay,
yes, it's an outside where you can.
okay, those are just my
It's like
questions.
down to the den, they have that fenced in area that they have to stay
Okay,
inside.
off to the right side of the building.
Yeah.
Um,
Everybody all set? All in favor?
I-
Aye. Opposed? Okay, around the table, Tyler, you have anything?
I don't.
Scott?
No.
Clayton?
No?
You're all set? Need a motion to take a brief recess and go to executive session for legal issues?
Motion to take a 5-minute recess and then enter executive session for legal issues.
I'll second that.
Motion made, seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
I remembered to say what for this time.
Thank everyone for coming.
out and then.
Do we have to vote
No.
to come out
You
before
gotta
or
make,
after?
you gotta come out first.
No, you're gonna vote, you gotta be on,
We were off camera too, right?
yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Come out of executive session,
I make a motion to come out of executive session.
I'll second that motion.
motion made, seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Alright, so, I make a motion to authorize Ryan to work with legal counsel and the animal control officer to draft a decision consistent with our deliberative discussion.
Your second,
I make,
motion made and seconded, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Okay, that's settled.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.